It's Wednesday, November 14th. Welcome to Pastor Bob Daily. Joe on Facebook says, at a discussion board on the internet, someone asked, when does dislike become hate? What do you think? I'm really glad that you brought this up, Joe, because this is something that bothers me a lot, honestly. We find all kinds of reasons to hate in the name of the Lord, and I think the Christian community is really guilty of this one. Let's turn to Matthew chapter 5, starting with verse 43. It says, "You have heard that it was said, 'Love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. If you love those who love you, what reward will you get? Are not even the tax collectors doing that? And if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that?" You see the point? People all around us, Christian and non-Christian, love people who love them, are great to people who are great to them. But the real question is, what do you do with those people who are a little more difficult to love? Some of those people who rub you the wrong way. Some of those people that aren't as committed to your values as you are. Some of those people that may see things politically in a bit different light. Some of those people that don't have the same kind of morals that you do about sexuality, about childbirth, etc., etc. What do you do with those people? Well, the Christian community has gotten really good at hating them, although we don't call it hate. We call it dislike. And we use little excuses like, hate the sin, love the sinner. And even though that's kind of true, folks, it gives us a good excuse to dislike the whole situation. And yes, we're not supposed to love sin, and I'm not suggesting that. But the more we use these little excuses to dislike what people do, and especially people, we find that we become more and more intolerant. And Joe, you've hit a nerve here. When does dislike become hate? And can I tell you that for a lot of Christians that I've watched, especially during this time of the year when we've just had an election here in the United States, I think there are a whole lot of them that have crossed the line. Who do you love? Do you love people so much that you'd hug them even though you totally disapprove of them? Do you love people so much that you're still great friends with them even though they didn't vote the same way you did? We really let people know what we think. We become very vocal as Christians, and I'm not sure how that all fits in. And obviously, we need to have our opinions, and we need to stand for what is true and what is right. But in the process of doing that, we've come to eliminate the competition almost. We hate them, we dislike them, we speak ill against them, we cuss them out. And we really form this hatred in our hearts, only we don't call it that. We call it justified anger. We call it dislike. I don't hate them, I just dislike them. And when does dislike become hate? Once again, I think many times we've already crossed the line. This verse here in Matthew 5, this set of verses are so good. It's easy to love your neighbor, but what about your enemy? Pray for your enemies. Do good to those who persecute you. Wow. How much are we really living this kind of life? How much do you love people that may be on the other end of the spectrum politically? Or who may be on the other side of the causes that you feel strongly about? We really, really need to love unconditionally. And folks, the only way we can do that is with God's love. When Jesus Christ truly is Lord of your life, and when the Holy Spirit truly is producing His fruit of the Spirit way down deep inside of you from your innermost being, then you begin to show the fruit of the Spirit to all of those people that you dislike. Loving them. Yeah. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. Kindness, goodness, self-control. Sound like some of the things we need a little more of? I think so. And my prayer for me and for you today is that God would allow His Holy Spirit to flow not just towards those people that are easy to love, but towards those people we might call enemies, towards those people that are more difficult to love. And folks, let them know that we are Christians by the way that we love. God bless you. Have a great day.